From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, December 17th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.61 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,240 per ounce. Zen is trading at $5, and the average price of Bitcoin is $3,441. Antiwar.com reports that Saudi Arabia issued a statement Monday morning condemning the U.S. Senate for a pair of resolutions calling them out for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi and blaming the Saudi crown prince. They called the Senate resolutions interference based on untrue allegations. The Thursday resolutions by the Senate included a call to end U.S. involvement in the Saudi-led war in Yemen, as well as the blaming of them for the Khashoggi murder. Saudi officials say they previously asserted that the murder of Saudi citizen Jamal Khashoggi is a deplorable time. Khashoggi was murdered in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul by a Saudi kill team. Saudi officials are complaining that the Senate noting this is a blatant interference in the kingdom's internal affairs, undermining the kingdom's regional and international role. The Saudis so far aren't doing anything but complaining, though they want to avoid any ramifications on the ties between the two countries that could have significant negative impacts on this important strategy relationship. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. Reuters reports election officials across Florida say they expect former felons to flock to their offices to register to vote next month when a newly passed ballot initiative launches one of the largest enfranchisement efforts in modern U.S. history. But partisan politics and logistical questions are clouding the January 8th rollout of a state constitutional amendment that could restore voting rights to more than 1 million ex-felons in Florida. Democrats and voting rights advocates cried foul this week when Governor-elect Ron DeSantis, a Republican and critic of the measure known as Amendment 4, said the Republican-controlled state legislature must first pass a law to implement the changes. DeSantis said, "I don't see any way around that. Regardless of whether you want it, you know, all to be implemented tomorrow, or whether you are trying to kind of frustrate it." Florida Democratic Party Chairwoman Terry Rizzo said in a statement calling DeSantis' move an act of voter suppression by Republicans who want to pick and choose who should have the right to vote. And State Senator Dennis Bexley, the Republican chairman of the Ethics and Elections Committee, agreed the measure largely could take effect without new laws. Democrats have celebrated the measure's passage as a civil rights victory, as well as a chance to expand the electorate in their favor in battleground Florida, the largest of the states that swing between parties in presidential elections. Florida has barred ex-felons from voting for 150 years. African Americans who favor the Democratic Party have been disproportionately affected by felon voter disenfranchisement. The measure, approved by more than 64% of Florida voters in November, states that felons' voting rights shall be restored upon completion of all terms of the sentence, with the exceptions for those convicted of murder or sexual offenses. Members of a bipartisan coalition that wrote the ballot initiative and campaigned for its passage are adamant that its language was designed to take effect without any further laws. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. Antiwar.com reports at least 12 people have been killed and 25 wounded in and around the vital Yemeni aid port of Hodeidah as pro-Saudi forces clash with the Shiite Houthi movement and Saudi warplanes strike the area. All of this is raising concern after a successful week of peace talks in Sweden, which ended in a ceasefire deal, and growing concerns that the skirmishes might mean the ceasefire will not take hold. The UN and officials on both sides are downplaying that, however, saying that the official ceasefire deal has been put off a few days and will be implemented on Tuesday at midnight. That's the hope, at least. Violent clashes in Hodeidah have displaced thousands and are threatening the food supply for millions of Yemenis. Continued fighting in the lead up to the new deadline might get out of control and the ceasefire might never be implemented at all. This has been FPP Radio News, online at FPPRadio.com.